Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I thought we would take a more in-depth look at the Paramaker. So we will go through all of the age groups, see what kind of differences there are, take a look at all of the genders of course, listen to all the voices, and just all the ins and outs that come with the Paramaker while in early access. So we are currently starting out with young adult, so we will go ahead and sort through pretty much everything that comes with it. So I think first things first is I want to just kind of like remove everything that she has on, so we can just take a look at what the game gives us from the start. So you do have a lot of different skin colors over here. And of course, you are able to create your own skin color. Now, this gets really in detail when you talk about skin color or creating your own. So I think this top layer, it will be like the base layer. And then you have your highlights. And that's like messing with a lot of the lines that come on your para. So you can really either make the skin tone pretty much almost the same, or make the highlights the same as your skin, or you can make them kind of more of like a in-depth type of look here, so it looks more like just like little slight indentations. And then we have our shadows, so that actually changes a lot of the details, like under the neck area, the collarbones, in between the chest area, and also with a lot of the shadows on your para's face. Natural blush, which I think is a really nice addition, and normally like when playing The Sims we add that as skin details. At least I know that I do, so I add some natural blush to my Sims. But being able to do that right off the bat without any kind of additional mods or CC is really nice. And then you have your lips. So you can make either darker lips or really pale lips. You can get really creative with this. Honestly, if you wanted to make an alien, it's very doable here. Matter of fact, we can make her skin like, we can make her like a blue alien. We'll add some highlights. I think maybe like some purple highlights, and then we'll do her shadows. Right, and then natural blush, we'll probably get into like a cutesy a cutesy natural blush. And then your lips can be like either like a darker blue, and you can change your palms. So we see that right now her palms are like that peachy color, but we can mess around with those as well. So you can do a lot of different details here when it comes to creating your own skin tone. So now we'll take a look at the different body presets that we have. So we have some for both male and female. And once you switch over to the male body preset, it will switch your character to male, and then female will switch your character to female. So we'll look at the female ones. We got a really buff one, slightly on the chubbier side, some love handles. This is super buff, my goodness, bodybuilder. And we have more of a leaner one, and I like how the muscle tone changes with the different types of body types. And again, here's a look at where that blush comes into play as well. Like on the knees, front of the knees, behind the knees. We also have some in the shoulder and elbow area. So it actually adds a really nice detail. It makes your paras look really cute. There's some on the feet too. This makes your paras look super adorable. So at the male body presets here, lean, a little muscular, kind of in the middle of muscular and a little heavier set, and like a lean but muscular, and then like a normal body type. And then we have our sliders over here, so you can change the amount of muscles just on the side slider that you want your para to have, as well as how big or small you want your para to be. This is the smallest that we can go. And this is the biggest that we can go. And then we can also change the height of our para, so we can make them super tall. I think that's just about as tall as we can, and then super short. So you can make a really short adult para, which I really love that you can have the different types of heights in game without worrying about installing too many mods or anything like that. So your whole family can definitely just be different heights all around. It looks like you can also change it here as well. So if this bothers you up here, you have the option to do it here too. And then we have all of our little intricate details. We have head position. We have trapezius prominence. So this little area right here between your neck and shoulders. We have the shoulder position. So you can really make really broad shoulders, really small, kind of in the middle, really high up so it makes it look like they're always tense, or really low to make it seem like they're super relaxed all the time. Now we have our chest position. So make really perkier chest, droopy chest, and we'll take a look on the side to see what that looks like. And you can also make them either wide apart or closer together. Then we have our rib cage size. So this goes either forward or backward. So we can make a really large rib cage or a smaller one. And again, you do have that slider down here too in case you have any difficulties using this one. Next, we have our waist shape. So you can have a wide waist or a small waist. And you can also lift it up some more, so to give your paras like a shorter torso or a longer torso. And then we have our upper arm sizes. We have our forearm size, and we have our hand size. So you can give your paras some really big hands or really tiny hands, which I feel like the smaller size, no, that's actually pretty small actually. So you can just make them normal too. Next, we have our hip width. So you can give them really wide hips or really kind of natural hips, I would say. But it's nice that we have that option as well. Then we have our thigh size, big thighs, smaller thighs. And it probably also plays a part on how big your para is too. So if we make her really thin and see what the size and what the thigh and the hips look like by doing that, that's actually really interesting. Now we have our calf size, pretty straightforward, and our feet size. So you can have really big feet, and we can see how long they get down here, or it can really have really tiny feet. That's like child size feet. And then we have some things that have to do with the profile view of your para. So you can do a bigger head, a smaller head, or somewhere in between. You can do shoulder depth. So your shoulders can come forward or really backward. Then we have our chest size. So you can make them really flat or have some really big boobies. And then we have our posture. So you can have them slumped over or have really great posture. Her boobs are huge. We'll make it in the middle. And then we have our stomach size. So you can make them really big or really small. And honestly, this could be really good for gameplay as well. I don't know as of yet what the pregnancy looks like for paras, or how long it is, or if there's different stages to it. But this could be a nice way to tell a story as well without, going through the whole thing. If maybe you want your para to look pregnant for longer. I don't know, but I like that we have that as an option as well. And then of course, the booty. So you can have a perky booty, a droopy booty, a big booty or a small one, or somewhere in between. Give her like a nice perky one. And that has to do with all of the different ways that we can manipulate your para's body and skin color. Now, when it comes to skin details, we have moles, we have scars, freckles, acne, and birthmarks. So the thing about this category though is we have a nice, some nice options, and we can also change the placement of them as well. And you can also put them all on. But the cool thing about that is that you can apply these to different areas of the body, even though they're the same. So going to her face, we got moles here. Going to, I think this is the front, so we got the chest area. And then you can also apply them to the back. And you can apply them to the legs. So you can do a lot and pretty much have all sorts of moles and freckles all over your paras. But we're going to take all of these off for now. And we'll look at how to create a color swatch for those particular moles. So we'll throw one on her face here and give her a cute little beauty mark. And you can change the different colors of the beauty mark, or you can just create your own and get a little wild with it. And give her a cute little pink one. This could even be cool to just kind of have as like a tattoo of sorts. So this right here, this is our mole, and this is pretty much, I think, just a way to show you where your markers are when you're sizing it or rotating it or just moving it around. You can also click and hold this yellow circle here to rotate it, and click and hold and drag the green circles to do the scaling. So I like how this game gives you a lot of different ways that you can manipulate things in case something doesn't necessarily feel right to you. So you can use these sliders down here, or you can move it around with the dots here and just use whatever feels right for you. Moving on to scars, we do have some stretch marks. Oops. Got some stretch marks, and you can change the color of those. So we can change them to that, and we can also adjust the sensitivity. And of course, you can always create your own stretch marks. And I thought that was a really nice addition. Me personally, I feel like everybody has stretch marks somewhere. I have them on my knees, and I also have them right here. And then we also have some scars here, which we will go ahead and change to the male body shape so we can see. To me, I guess they're like surgery scars, so these are good for storytelling as well. If you have someone who is transitioning, you can apply these to your para's body, or maybe you have a sim that went through breast cancer. You can also apply these to the body as well. But I don't believe you can do one or the other. It's just the opacity and the color. But it would kind of be nice to be able to have one scar on either side and also have the option to have both. I think that would be a nice change. Next we have body freckles. So we have some nice freckles on the shoulder, and you can also have freckles all over. And you can layer these on as well. You can have either or both. And these are full body freckles. When I say full body, I mean all the way down to the toes. Okay. And of course, these have their own color swatches as well. Then we have acne. Backne to be specific. So this right here, you can definitely change the opacity to this. So you can make it like light backne, get a little darker, or make it look like it hurts. and it's very itchy. But that is really cool, especially for maybe our teenage Sims, because I know we can also apply acne to their faces. Next, we have birthmarks, and this is a pretty interesting aspect as well, because we can move this birthmark around, we can increase it in size or decrease, we can rotate it. And the cool thing about it is we could probably also give our paras vitiligo, but I am hoping maybe they'll add that. Maybe they'll add that in the future. So we have that, and we can apply more birthmarks to our para if we want to. So when it comes to the face, we can make it as big as this and rotate it and put it anywhere we want in the face region. I think you can even add it to their ears. Yeah, you can. Look at that. That's amazing, actually. There is an out of bounds area though, but to be fair, this does give you a pretty nice area to play in when it comes to scars or moles or birthmarks on the face. You can also apply it to the chest area, the back, and the legs as well. So you can have all kinds of birthmarks. And when we apply it to the back, like, you know, some people have birthmarks like on their lower back. So this is about as low as we can go. We can make it a pretty big one and just have like a birthmark there, or we can make it as small as we can and just have like this tiny little birthmark right here. Next, we're going to take a look at body hair. So we do have a couple options for chest hair, which I love how they made it like these cute little like crescent moons and like dabbled them everywhere. That's actually really nice. We have one just around your belly button area. We have a full chest of hair, okay, on the shoulders too. And we have some finer hair. So this for me looks more of like a curly type. And you can also match it to your hair color, or you can just use a different type of color here. So we'll have it matched to the hair color. And there's the finer hair, and then a fuller chest of finer hair. And then of course you can also layer it as well. So we have our chest hair, we have our arm hair, we have another type of arm hair that goes further up in the upper arms and shoulders. And then we also have options for leg hair and more leg hair. And then more of a like curly type of coarser leg hair that looks a little bit lighter, honestly. And I kind of like the way that this one looks. And then in here we do have facial hair as well. So I'll just cycle through these. And I love how for the male paras, they have their Adam's apple. That's so cool. That's such a nice look. So you can pair your different mustaches with your different beards. And you can even add on stubble. So you can layer all three of these and just make your own unique look for your para. And then I love how they added this bit here. So we can change the chest shape, and by changing the chest shape, that does not change your para's gender. So like I mentioned before, if you have a para that's going through transitioning, you can definitely get really creative with it. So maybe we have our male para here who's looking to transition or going through the steps of transitioning into a female. So we can give them a chest shape, and I feel as though we should be able to manipulate the chest as well. Yeah, but the para is still a male. And the same also applies to the bottom shape as well. Maybe you have a female para who is a little bit more masculine on the top, but they got all the workings down here. So you can get really, really in depth with creating your own para. All right, now that we looked at all of the body details, we're going to look at the face details as well. So again, this is another area for you to choose your skin color. And we're going to take a look at the eyes first. But first, I think I want to do like a different hairdo so we can look at all of the different things that we have going on here. So you can choose your eye color, of course. And we can also create our own eye color. And by doing that, we're changing the iris, the inner iris, and the whites of the eye. So if we want to change this iris here, and I think it is a little buggy, but that's okay. That's what comes with early access and all the things in between. And then you can do an inner iris, which I think is really, really cool. So you can do like maybe like a brown eye that has like hints of blue in there, right? I think that's really pretty. Ooh, okay. And then of course we have some eye presets for your paras. And a really cool addition to these eye presets is this little slider over here for eyelid pinch. So you can make them a little smaller or a little longer. And then we have all of our details up here for the eyes. So eye fold height, make it taller or shorter. Then we have eyelid height. Yeah, this was eye fold, this is eyelid. And eyelid pinch. And eyelid curvature. And we have eyelid depth, so we're looking on the sides here. And then we have outer corner position. So you can get really, really crazy with your para's eyes. And the eyes are the windows to the soul. So honestly, like even if all of your paras tend to have that same kind of facial structures or, you know, same nose, eye, or nose, mouth, ears, or they kind of all relatively look the same. Honestly, you could go back and like change up the eyes a little bit to really give all of your paras a little bit of personality. Then we have eyebrows. So you can match your eyebrows with your hair color, or you can use one of the preset hair colors or create your own, however you see fit. We'll go through all of the eyebrows. I feel like we got a pretty good amount of eyebrows right off the bat. They're pretty nice. And then these are eyebrow presets. I think it's more of like the skeletal structure of an eyebrow. Just like, you know, the indentation or where your eyebrows are sitting on your face. So we can have this lower brow bone. And then we can make some like bushy brows, right? And then of course we can also manipulate our brows too. So outer corner height, middle height, and inner corner. And then we can also do the eyebrow depth. And then we also have eyebrow position, so we can make them really high up or really, really low and look mean, or have them really far apart or really close together. And then we do eyebrow size, so really big, bushy, or a little bit thinner. Another addition that we have here in the facial portion of your Paramaker is your eyelashes. So you can actually change your eyelash color to be different from your hair color. You can have your basic black or brown, but you can also do a little bit more. So it would be really interesting to see maybe some paras with some albino paras. So you can make their eyelashes like that really soft, like blondish white, and along with their hair, maybe their eyebrows, or you can even probably have it match their skin color a little bit. However you see fit. And we'll take a look at some of the eyelashes too. I do like that they gave us some options here instead of, you know, just like the basic things or like 1 or 2 options. But this right here, having the option to have no eyelashes at all is actually really cool. Or even just some really subtle ones. So all of your paras don't have to have like these crazy giant lashes. They can have either subtle ones or you can have none at all. And then something else that they added in here is your eye highlights, which is really cool. You can have no highlight here, which is like the catch lights. If you've ever installed some for Sims, you can have separate catch lights and, you know, add those in with different types of contacts or whatever. But we can also do that here. So, and you can change the opacity of those catch lights and the color of those catch lights. I think it's really cool. And next we have dark circles. So we can add some dark circles around our para's eyes. It's really cool to add a little bit more details to the face. And we can change the color of those as well. So I actually want to look at these and look at some of the color swatches and the opacity for the dark circles. So you can go really, really dark or none at all or just slightly there, right? For these though, they have 3 different color swatches. I'm not necessarily seeing any true changes for this. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to be changing anything else, but these type of dark circles just seem more just like regular lines that your paras can have. They don't have any opacity slider, but they are really nice to just add for some additional detail. So if you see, like, this one's really subtle, but it adds like little eye bags. So it can give your para some more detail in their face. Now for the noses, we do have 2 different things that we can change here just a little bit. We can change the nose bridge and the nose tip. And we also have some nose presets, which look pretty nice. We'll go through the presets. And I love this cartoony type of style because it really is gonna matter what kind of preset or anything that you have on your para, because we have all these extra lines to show you that definition in that nose. Say like head on and then the side profile, but something like this, we have not too much detail, but it's a super cute nose. And this one has the line above it, so you can know that there's, you know, maybe the tip of their nose lifts up a little bit more. It's very personalized. It shows a lot of character for each para, and I actually really, really love that. Now looking at some of the positionals that we have for the nose. So you can change your bridge width. You can change the middle portion of your bridge width as well. And then you can change your nose tip size. And you can change your nostril shape. So this one has more of a type of like rotational grid here for the nostrils. And we can change the nose tip width as well. We can also do nose global. We have that as an option. So if you want to get a little bit defined here, or you can just like play around with this a little bit. And we have specific sliders off to the side as well to kind of get a little bit more fine tuning. And then we have nose rotation. So you can make it a little bit more perky or droopy in like a hook nose or somewhere in between. And we have the nose size, bigger or smaller, and nose depth. So longer or a little bit shorter. And then for nose profiles, which I'll just turn over here, nose tip position. And we have bridge depth. And then we have root depth. You can make it like a really nice like Greek nose. There's a lot of nice noses out there. Right. Let's look at the mouths now. And we'll just cycle through some of the presets that we have here. Which they gave us some really nice mouth presets. Super nice. And then we have our sliders here. So mouth size. Oh, you can like, you can really give them like no mouth. We have mouth height. Now I am noticing there's like some weird like clippage here, but honestly, that's kind of expected with how dramatic you're trying to get with like certain placements. And we have mouth depth. And then we do the upper lip shape. So you can make it more defined and give a heart-shaped lip, or give it more of like an undefined shape here. Then lip size and upper lip width, or depth, my bad. Upper lip depth. Then we can also manipulate the mouth corners. And we can do the same thing with your lower lip. But I do like though, it's not necessarily like clipping in some cases, but it gives like a little bit of like, so if I maybe poke his lip out a little bit, but then I made it like super big, so it kind of does that underlip line right here. I like that. Let's do that. Okay. And teeth. We do have options for teeth. So can we actually, I don't know if we can actually see the para doing anything with the teeth, but I guess if you were to somehow find a way to open their mouths, but it looks like we got some with teeth missing. This looks like it's braces on there. This looks like maybe there's some longer canines. We got a gap tooth as well, and then we just have the standard. And for the facial structures, I'm gonna start with the ears and look at the ear presets. I like giving my characters big ears or something similar like this. I just think they're really cute that way. Then we have forehead presets. And this can add like a lot of depth to it as well. Like look at those indentations near the temples. And these really indentations near the temples. And they got wrinkled foreheads. And then we have some jaw presets. So this is like a shorter jaw. This is like more of a softer jaw, and then you have maybe like more of a muscular jaw here. Then we have some chin presets. You can give butt chins. Handsome Squidward. I love that. Actually looks really nice with a butt chin. Oh, lost my place. Yes. Kind of looks nice like that. Or even this one. We'll do the butt chin. Or should we do a slightly butt chin? Yeah, we'll do that one. And then we have cheek presets. And I like how that adds some of these lines here by the nose if you have chubbier cheeks. If you have more hollow cheeks. Yes. Sculpted face for real. Look at that. Beautiful. The high cheekbones. You could do like this though. It's good looking. Right. Or you can come off to the right side here and manipulate a lot of the different things as well. So we got our jaw width. We have our jawline shape. We have our chin shape. We have jaw depth to the side here. And then of course we have the jaw heights. And then for the side profile, we have jawline depth. And this is more of a rotational grid as well to get really intricate with that. And we have double chin prominence. So you can give your paras a double chin. And I feel like as you are doing that, I think it adds some folds, perhaps. Or you can give them one that's like really lifted up. And then we have the chin depth. So honestly, like these sliders do allow you to make some pretty crazy things, but they limit it enough to where it's not looking really goofy, if that makes sense. So you can make very interesting paras, but they all kind of have that, these sliders all kind of have those limitations where it's still going to make the para look relatively, you know, normal in a sense and not super goofy. So I do appreciate that. All right, and this just goes back to facial hair. And this is also some added skin details that we have here. So we do still have those moles that we can apply. And we have an eye scar, we have a nose scar, and we have a side of the forehead scar here and another one on the other side. We have another facial scar. There's a lot of facial scars, my goodness. And I'm not sure what this one is. Oh, for the arm, look at that. Okay. And then we have freckles. Full face of freckles. And then we have that acne that we were able to apply on the back as well. So we have some on the sides of the face, we have forehead acne, and we have some that goes like under your chin and onto your neck area. They really added those details to those problem areas for real. Do we want to give him freckles? Maybe just slightly. I'm probably gonna save him. And maybe upload him to the workshop. All right. And then this goes back to a lot of the categorized. So next we have hairstyles. And this is where you can just choose your own hair color. He looks really good in brown. He looks really good in a redhead too. Fun. He's a model, y'all. So let's see. You know, I don't mind this hair, but we'll take a look at all the hairs that we have. And you can also create your own hair color. You do not have to, you're not stuck with just the pre-made hair colors that they have. But when you are making some, you have your roots, tips, and the hair itself. So when you are doing your roots, that focuses mainly on the roots that you have here, right? And then when you do the hair though, that's going to focus on the larger portion of the hair. So you can have it match with your roots if you want. You can just pretty much copy paste into these fields. And then you can change your tips as well. So you can give them really, really cool colors. Right. Now we'll take a look at some more of the hairstyles. I am looking like, who's that actor? Cillian Murphy. Just a tad, just a tad. That bald spot is amazing. They did give us a lot of good hairs. Oh, he looks good in that one too. That might be his hair. I really did like this one on him as well. Some nice braids. Another nice bald area. Shaved head. And some shortcuts. This is probably one of my favorites. This one. Oops. This is a good one too. And a lot of these hairs would look really nice depending on like what kind of coloring you go for. I love that we got that color wheel, y'all. We have got that color wheel. Now my main question would be though, I'm assuming that when you do just like maybe skin tones and hair colors, will your offspring also share those same hair colors as long as you have that swatch saved? I'm assuming. And it should be that way, I feel like. How long is this one? That's a pretty long one. This one's also super cute. I love how they added these little rubber bands. The hair clips. There's a really nice variety of hairstyles. That's really nice on him. Peaky Blinders. Stop. Right, and that is all the hairstyles. I think I'm going to go back to maybe this one. I think he looks really nice in this one. Okay, so next we're going to move on to makeup. I noticed that he already has some eyeliner on. The cool thing about the makeup category though is that you are able to layer a lot of eyeshadows all at once. All of them actually, all of the available ones that we have, you can layer on top of one another. So if you like this one, but you want to maybe have, you know, some darker outer sides, you can put this one on there and do it that way. But we'll take a look at what they look like individually. Ooh, so you have some underneath right here. I think that's really nice. And some inner corners. And then for the eyeliner, we can do the same thing here and apply every single one of them. But we'll look at them individually. They have little hearts. That's cute. I'm sure it definitely also is based off of your Para's eye shape too, as so much as in terms of how much of a liner or eyeshadow is showing. Because I do feel like with this heart one, like maybe the hearts sit a little bit lower, or you know, like how it is in the picture, if maybe his cheekbones weren't so high. But you can change the colors or create your own and get a little red heart moment here. We also realized I had this one on as well, so. Then we have lipsticks. We'll just cycle through all of these. We're gonna have a Shigo moment. Matter of fact. Yeah, Shigo. From Kim Possible. This one looks like it has glitter on it. And then with the color swatches, we have like very like flat colors for this one. And then for this one, it's kind of like a little bit tinted, just a little bit. And this looks more like maybe a gloss. And then we have blush, which I feel like they gave us a really nice selection of blush. We can cover all the areas that you want to cover. And this looks really cute. Like, it's really subtle to me. They even gave us this one with the heart shapes in the blush. And then this one, which this one's pretty interesting. I don't know if it's supposed to be like rosacea, probably. Like maybe if we lowered it a little bit and you had like a different color, perhaps. I'm not sure. Possible. I don't know if I'll add any to him specifically. Maybe just like a little bit. And then we have face paint. So this is putting me in the mind that they are getting ready for those seasons and holidays, which I'm super excited about. I think that's probably going to be, I mean, that's definitely coming while we're still in early access, but I don't think it'll be the first thing that they'll do. But look at this, like not only is it applying to the face, but it's applying to the body as well. Stop. And then we have face mask. Or like clay mask, and this is for hot weather while you playing lifeguard, putting some sunscreen on your face. And we have clown makeup, which this is pretty interesting because you can change every little bit of this. So if you want your left eye to be pink and you want your right eye to be green, you want your lips to be purple, and the foundation itself, like that's crazy. That's crazy. All right. And now we'll move on to tattoos. So they gave us some really nice tattoos, actually. Okay. And then we can also move them around. So we don't have to have that on our upper forearm. We can make it smaller too if we want. These. Can rotate it. Very nice. And we can layer the tattoos. My goodness. Game changer, honestly. So we'll just take a look at the ones we have. Pretty nice, pretty nice. We have this cool one down here. And then it's going to be the same tattoos for everywhere else, which is pretty cool actually. So let's say you, I don't know, like you had this right here, but then you also added it to your arms and kind of just like made it like a whole moment, you know? Like how can we actually do this for, yeah, kind of like that. It's just like they'll like go into each other. Magic tattoos all around. And we'll take that one, and then you have the legs and everything. So hopefully they add more tattoos, or maybe we can even add them ourselves in the Steam workshop. I think that would actually be really cool. But I think we took a look at all of the different sliders, manipulations, all the different types of body types that we can have. And I'm going to assume that is going to be the same for both male and female, from young adult, adult, and elder. And we will go ahead and look through some of the clothing options as well. So accessories, we have a couple hats. Now already I'm liking that even with the hairstyle that we chose for him, it's not like, it's actually going really well with the hair. There's not like a whole lot of clipping. Like it's on the side, but I'm just happy that I can put a hat on him and don't have to worry about his hair not fitting with that hat, you know? And these are some really nice hats. Again, like we have some really nice options right off the start. Wow. Nice bucket hat. Ooh, okay. Little bonnet. Yes. Stop, they did not add that horse face in here. Oh my gosh. His Adam apple though. Stop, why is this in here? Yeah, this game is definitely ready. They're getting there. They're ready for the seasons and the holidays. That's going to be really exciting. And we have some glasses, which are really nice. I'm liking these. Okay. There's some really nice options. Yes. Not the meme glasses. And now we have some accessories. So starting off with some earrings, which we do have some really nice options here. Stop, the aliens. I love that they added AirPods to this, because then you can just add those to your workout gear and call it a day, right? Right, and then we have piercings, which the cool thing about the piercings is that you literally can layer them all on top of one another. I think we can even add these extra bits here. It might look a little crazy, but it's doable, and that's the thing, right? That it is possible to do that. Okay, but we'll look at them individually so you guys can see what they look like. And there's another piercing. And then we have the clown nose. Definitely need to add that. And for the necklaces, we have some really nice options here too. And I think, yeah, no, we can't. Oh, this goes nice with the face paint for the scarecrow. Very cool. I don't think we can't layer necklaces, it seems. But that's okay. Oh my god, a badge. Yeah, so the necklaces will just be individual, so you can't layer those. And then we have medical items, which are really cool. So we have an hearing aid here. And they added a face mask. Now, I do wonder, will that play a part in your paras getting sick? Like, actually play a part in it? Because my paras, in my little short gameplay that I did in the last video, my paras did catch colds from, it was the dad first, and then it was the daughter, but they caught it at the school. So I wonder if wearing a mask will actually help prevent that. Oh my god, it's stuck. Okay, there we go. Now we'll just breeze through a lot of the clothing area items that we have. And I do have little icons here. You cannot toggle between tucked in and out with your current items. Oh, so if we put some pants on him, let's get some baggy pants maybe. And if we did, I don't know. So this one, you can choose a secondary item. So they got the layering, y'all. The layering, like full on layering too. Long sleeves with the t-shirts. Action going on. Oh, and the picture just stays the same. Okay, but this one, you can have it tucked out or tucked in. That's really cool. Stop. I'm loving this. Look at that. You can throw another layer on under that too. And then this one, you can just choose what top you want to wear underneath. Oh my gosh, this game, literally. They have some really nice clothes though. I'm loving all these options. Aww. Look at the kitty cats. And we do have some swimwear. Yeah, there's a good amount of options for clothing, honestly. And the fact that you can do a lot of the layering too, like this is a really cute blue top, but if we use this as an underlayer, cute. Maybe this one instead, even cuter. So I am really, really loving this. And you can choose a layer for the jelly toast. Is it cold out while you're out there? The only thing is it is like messing up a little bit by applying the t-shirt to the bread. Hopefully they fix that, because this is really cool when you think about it, because if it's cold out, right? Oh, it works for this one, but not the other tops. So just like the ones with collars, I guess. But if it's like cold out and maybe you have like an office hangout during Halloween or something, you can wear that. I think we'll just put him in maybe like a regular black hoodie while we take a look at the pants. So there's a lot of different bottoms as well, which are super cool. Lots of different types of styles too. Though I do wish they had more baggy pants. I mean, well, it's a good amount. We also have some joggers. honestly, I take back what I said. There are a lot of good options here for you to just get creative with your Paris clothing. I think we'll probably put him in the joggers, I think. And then moving on to shoes, we have some nice sneakers. And of course, the same will always apply when it comes to changing the coloring of your items that you have your pair having on. These are really cool. But I'm gonna have him have some sneakers on for sure. Lad, look at those. I'm sure if he was wearing a skirt. Yes, look at that. That's really cool. Yes. We'll just do the back button real quick and then finish looking at the shoes. Yes, the Crocs. The Crocs. Should we have him wear Crocs? Now, I think he looked really nice in the sneakers. And I actually like them in this color, but there are different colors for a lot of the shoes too. Gonna have some Converses. So the Converses actually look nice. They have a 3-leaf clover on the side. That's really cool. We'll give him the Converse actually. And then we do have some accessories. So we have some tights and we have some gloves and stuff. I'm assuming this probably belongs to maybe one of the costumes. We have mittens and some regular gloves. These look like gloves for the doctors. And then we also have some socks. And we have prosthetic legs. So if I take this off, and then I wonder, can you... Oh, look at that. Stop. That's so cool. Oh, nice. Oh, wait. Edit. You can. Wait. I'm just noticing that. So that means with some of the other stuff that we did see, we're able to do that, right? Hold on. Okay, let's keep going through the accessories that we have though. So this was back into the jewelry, but we have some things for the wrist, watches and all of that. And then we have rings. I kind of wish it was a better way to look at them. Like to get a little bit more up close. And there's a belly piercing, which we did see in my first video. And then we have nails. So we did take a small look at those as well. And for the undies, there's a lot of nice underwear here as well. What does that say? Roberto Robert, the train inductor? Stop. Yes, we're gonna wear some Roberto Roberts. Okay. And then when it comes to, you know, putting more personality into your para, you are able to put points into each of their types of stats. So physique, mind, creativity, and charisma. You can also choose a vibe for them: overjoyed, gloomy, energetic, serious, or jester. We're gonna just make him maybe energetic. You can do a social perk: good at being alone, making friends, taking care of others, romantic relationships, or cooperating. I think he'll be good at making friends. And you can choose a talent. So jack of all trades: music, fitness, food, technology, art, or good at nothing. I think we will make him maybe good at nothing. You can also set them to be vegetarian. You can set their sleeping habits. normal, early bird, or night owl. And you can set their cleaning habits, normal, sloppy, or neat. And not only can you just set up the first outfit, you can make, let's see, you can make 5 more outfits for your para. Oh, no, you can keep going. Wow, how many more can we make? Stop, it just keeps going. What? 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 That's a lot. It just keeps going. So the same with the formal wear and the athletic wear and the night wear. Honestly, all of these are pretty good. So I'm going to delete all of these because I am going to save him. Okay. So let's listen to the voices.
Sachi. Abi.
Smooth.
Lani? Miki.
Rough. This one's mellow.
Kiku? Buka.
And this one is silky.
Phoebe? Chubby.
I feel like...
Kine. Ah, muchitipu.
Lani? Miki.
Actually, I like the rough one for him. Let's name him Roman. Roman Alvarez? Maybe? Roman? But I am going to give him more points in charisma and physique. And that's it. But he's not really good at anything. But he's good at making friends and he's energetic. I'm going to save him. All right, so he's saved. But let's go ahead and take a look and see if there's anything different for our elders. So by making him an elder, there might not be too many different things here. I am wondering, like, do they have any different facial things? Maybe some different accessories? Possibly? No. It would be nice to add maybe a cane for them. I think that would be cool. All right, so for the teenagers though, they pretty much have all the same with the hairs and the makeup. For clothing, we're gonna see if anything changed in particular. It doesn't seem like it. Except that it doesn't seem like teens can have piercings, I'm assuming. We'll double check that. Oh, I didn't even look at the full outfits. Let's take a look at those. We'll make a new outfit. Okay. What the? Okay. Oh, did I accidentally keep those on him? For the bracelets. My bad. Okay. These are some of the full outfits. And you have the Among Us character. That's so great. Very, very cute One Piece outfits. Very cute. Aw, looks nice in the overalls. Cow, look at the udders. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then we can, when it comes to teens, we can still set their points and their stats. Set their vibe, social perk, and talent, but we can't set if they have sleeping habits, if they're neat, or if they are vegetarian, it looks like. Now, when it comes to preteens, not this hair. That's great. So for the preteens, we don't have as many points. as the other life stages. So it looks like you only get 3 points for preteens, but you can change their vibe and change their talents. And I believe we have all of the same clothing when it comes to preteens. For just about, not everything is here in the full body outfits, but we still get a lot of good options, it looks like. So that's pretty great. Yeah. Okay. Now if we set to a child, and the children paras are so tiny, y'all. Can you make them tinier? I think you can. Oh my gosh. So you can definitely have different heights for the age groups, even though they're already different heights, but stop. I love that so much. All right. So a good majority of the changes though, like the children and the preteens do not have formal outfits to choose from. You also can't change their voices, but you'll be able to start doing that when they're teenagers. So all the child and preteen paras will sound the same. That's my takeaway from that. Now when they are toddlers, they only have full everyday outfits and pajamas. So, or casual outfits, not everyday, casual outfits. He's cute as a toddler, stop. And then they have pacifiers, which is really nice. And of course their outfits are definitely going to be different. So you have the teddy bear. I have a lot of like One Piece actions going on here. But super, super cute. And then we have some shoes. Oops, let me change the outfit. Have our sneakers, our sandals. Oh, I don't know what was wrong with, oh no, because it was an infant. Okay, so these are good on toddlers, but when I tried to put them on the infant, it got a little crazy. And when it comes to the toddlers and their stat points, you only get 1 stat point to start off with. So choose wisely. And then for toddler hairs, stop, these are cute. Oh, look at the pigtails. Oh no. Oh my gosh, they're adorable. Adorable. Look at this one. Oh, I love that so much. Stop. Y'all. Oh, okay. And then for the babies, they have their casual outfits and their pajamas as well. And then we seem to have, you know, less options when it comes to some of their facial features, but that's given, you know. And they share the same hairstyles as the toddlers, which is absolutely fine. And they also have their pacifiers, and they also share the same outfits and the same shoes. It's just that these sandals clip through their feet, so they don't really fit them all that well. So maybe that will be fixed in the next one. But you guys, I think that will pretty much do it when it comes to kind of more of an in-depth look of the Paramaker. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give a like to the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn your notifications on so you're notified of the next upload to my channel. Thank you so much, guys, and stay cozy.